we there yet? Morgan to Morgan, are we there yet? It says I'm live. I think I'm live. Hello, everyone. Hello, comrades. And welcome to another episode of Under Construction. Welcome back to the Tolbrin Peninsula. I've been starting to say welcome back to blank. I picked it up from Zisto. Now, there's something about this building. Before we start drumming things up, there's something about this building, and I think it's that it's too short, and I need to give it some enhancement. But we'll do that after, of course, our obligatory round of Not Tetris. Now, I started this, I was getting ready to start this, and I was early to my late start time, because I said 8 o'clock. I was waiting for food delivery, and it got here at maybe 20 past, and I kind of ignored everything else I had to do and just scarfed down all the food. And then after that, I was getting ready, and I was ready like 15 minutes early. And I thought, oh, you know what, that's just fine. You know what, I'll sit, I'll get ready for 15 minutes. Wait, no, we're starting late. Why would I put it off? Let me just get ready and start the show. And then I didn't do that because I started reading a thread on a subreddit about my current favorite smutty book series. Not that there are many of those. In fact, there's just one, but I can't deny that it is in fact smutty. But you know, juicy drama like cheese-may tea drama. I love that. I'm mostly there for that, is what I keep telling myself. Hi, Graham. Graham says it's 1 week until Chaos, and I know, just a week away. Can you believe it? I'm so happy about this information. Genuinely, though, I am happy about this. It's gonna be one hell of a weekend. For those who don't know, we're having probably like a dozen people here. For the sake of the Big E, the Big E Model Train Show is coming up at the end of the month, last weekend of the month. We'll be there. I'll be at the Providence Northern Model Railroad booth doing my presidential duty. I should get like a Burger King. Do they still give the crowns out, the paper crowns? I should get one of those. Hey, Mopac. There was a paper crown. There was a BK paper crown downstairs in the meeting room at the Providence Northern for years. Literal years. Like, I saw it there every meeting. As soon as I became president, it disappeared. Don't know what happened to it. It's gone. I think people didn't want me wearing it. Personally, I think it's like... It's got to be some sort of conspiracy. I'm being targeted. Oh, there goes that. I had that stood up all nice. Let's put that over there. Let's just move that. Let's just settle this down right here. I know it's not gonna really help, but I don't know where else to put it with everything all crooked like. This can go here. Sounds like quite the whopper. Boo. How do I time out the chat? How do I time somebody out? Hey, Ryan. I'll be looking forward to seeing you as well. Let's put this here. Let's try to put this one over here. I don't really know what we're going to do today on Tolbrin. I don't really have a plan. Part of me just wants to lay down, which is what me has wanted for the entire week. But instead I ended up going to the office multiple days, being in the cold, waiting for my bus quite a bit. The first day, I went to the office 2 days in a row. The first one, I missed my bus by like a minute. I saw it go by as I was walking up to the stop, which is always a great feeling. The second day, I was like, okay, so the bus came by a little early last time. I'll get there a little early. You already know how this story goes, I'm sure. It was 30 minutes late. It was like 22 degrees out. I was cold. I was very cold. I was some of the coldest I've been in living memory. Because I don't remember how cold I used to get when I was playing out in the snow as a child. And that's the thing, when you're playing around in the snow, it never feels like you're that cold, because you want to be outside, you want to be in the snow, you know? I would have frozen to death and I would have been happy. But no, I've discovered new levels of cold that I could experience, starting with the Patriots game I was at couple weeks ago now. I think it was the coldest I've ever been. Like, the coldest I've ever... I don't know if I could feel colder than how I felt that day. Uh, it was just 3 hours of sitting in snowy 20-degree temperatures. Not... I mean, I can't say it wasn't fun, because, you know, I was at a football game. Um, Definitely had fun, but I did not realize, I wasn't capable of comprehending how cold I was. Oh, shoot, this is not good. Until we got on the train to get home. Which, by the way, yes, took the train to Gillette Stadium. If you ever go to a Patriots game, take the train to Gillette Stadium. It saves you money and so much headache. So much headache. Also, you know, you're taking a train. Yeah, the offense was colder than I was. Um, it wasn't good. It was Patriots Jets, so it was really just like it was a real tank bowl. It was not There was not a lot going on that whole game, but it was pretty competitive for almost the whole game. Uh, the Jets did get a garbage time touchdown that made the final score look a lot worse than it actually was for almost the entire game, uh, which is a shame. But you know, it was the last game of the season. It's how you know the dynasty was truly over. You know, I mean, obviously the dynasty has been over since Brady left. But
I
what's
know
up?
you're in the middle of doing thing, but my mom has a question for you.
Okay, is it a question that can be aired publicly?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, what is the question?
So China works with this guy named John, and
Okay.
he belongs to the Massachusetts chapter, the Trainz, like you do in Rhode Island.
Oh, like Mass Bay Railroad enthusiasts?
That's exactly what it is. And he said that your name sounds familiar to him. He said, ask him if he knows the guy who made the circus train.
I met the guy who does the circus train.
That's one of her colleagues.
He brought it to our open house, our Providence Northern open house, which was at the beginning of last month. Uh, yeah, I did get to meet him at least in passing, at least briefly. I had to go to bat for him because we have relatively strict rules on setup for the open house, where you have to have your train set up in advance and it has to be run twice around the layout. And because he was a visitor, he was not able to do any of that. So the operating committee was very annoyed at myself and the treasurer, who was the person who reached out to him. And I was like, just let him cook, you know, let him do his thing, let him set it up. Like, people know that he's going to be here. The train itself will be a draw. Like, people will want to see it, you know, whatever. You know, don't run him out of town. So I had to get them to shut up, and he showed up and he set up his train and ran it, and it worked, and you know, it was very cool. He's got one hell of a setup. The circus train is a lot of train.
He said it took him 4 years to make, but he's a colleague of China, so that's neat.
Oh yeah, well, small. I'd say small state. You folks are in Massachusetts, but I, I'd you know, Rhode Island is a small town of 1 million people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, all right.
Well, that's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. I hope you're ready for Lafayette.
I am.
I'm gonna lose. Uh oh. I'm. I'm failing. I blame Gloria's mom. Oh no. Oh, I'm in a bad way. Nope. This is it. There's nothing else I can do. There is nothing else I can do. Okay. What was I talking about? I was talking about the Patriots game. Um, it's how you know that the dynasty was truly over. It's like 20 years or however long of not losing to the Jets, and we've lost to the Jets now. It's a very different feeling. It's like, okay, this is a totally new team. This is a totally different team. We can do things as a team that we have never done before. For example, lose to the Jets. Okay, so I said I wanted to make this building longer, right? I wanted to make this building longer. I actually want to stretch all of this out pretty much as far as I can, um, so that this is all one big block. I know I built this last time, and I do need to... Oh, that's hovering. Hold on. I do need to... If I do this, will it break things? Oh, you know what? That's not nearly as bad as I'd expected. This isn't good, because that's just hovering now. Come on, give me this. Oh, wow. Oh, I missed it by that much. Could you imagine if I just like no scoped that building down, like landed it right in the perfect spot without even trying? That would have been wow. That would have been incredible. Definitely should have gone into the like Trainz Hall of Fame or something, or at least be featured on a YouTuber's video essay about cool weird sports things. I actually watched a little, I guess you could call it a video essay, or review perhaps, of John Boyce's 17776, which I then tried and failed to explain to Gloria exactly what 17776 is. I don't know what you'd call it. I had a friend of mine call it a multimedia, oh shoot, a multimedia piece of art or something, multimedia story, which is probably the closest you can get because I don't know what other box to put it in. It is something that is just different, just different, just outside the bounds of what is normally or like what you can usually do with media. Um, anyway, yeah, so the offense was bad. Um, we've lost to the Jets. There's no more Brady, of course. There's no more Belichick now. He's going to go and coach the Atlanta Falcons or something, or Alabama, right? Alabama's coach got fired, or the coaching position opened up. Um, he's gonna do one of those things, or go into. I could see something really weird happening, like Bill Belichick becomes Secretary of the Interior or something, just completely out of left field. Um, honestly, with the man's performance as head of a football team, you could elect him, or you could make him Secretary of Defense. Do you see how he holds these teams? Did anyone here see Super Bowl 53? Because I did. And yeah, Bill Belichick deserves to be Secretary of Defense. Uh, 3 hour video essays about things like speed runs are really interesting. Honestly, I watch all kinds of like weird video essays on stuff that I've never cared about. It's all I put on at work because half of the time, maybe more, you get these videos that are they're just videos. They're not even a podcast about engineering disasters with slides. They are just a person talking at a camera. You know, a certified summoning salt moment. Yeah, I've definitely watched some summoning salt. Um, I've watched a lot of different things. I mean, John Boyce, of course, comes to mind. He's like my goat, because he kind of is. And Bobby Broccoli is sort of that same style, but with scientific stuff. I mean, if you haven't seen the uh, the Hadron Collider trilogy, I guess he combined it all into one video now. It's called like the $11 trillion hole in Texas or some such thing. Absolutely outstanding. You know, it is something where you could sit there and take like a partisan angle to it, but it's not. It's some of these things are nice because uh, some of these things are nice because they will either really do a good job of laying out the facts, uh, sort of what's the word, without bias or at least without an agenda. It would seem not that I necessarily have a problem with agendas. It's kind of what you do, uh, but it's either that or it's laid out. Um, with a very specific agenda in mind, and they tell you that at the front. Hold on, the $11 trillion hole in Texas. Let me just. Sorry, yeah, yeah. The Bobby Broccoli documentary is about 3 hours long. The Seattle Mariners documentary is about 3 hours and 40 minutes long, which I almost watched with friends on New Year's. Um, Okay, I've successfully made this building longer, which is sort of what I wanted to do. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, the Mariners documentary might be the best piece of nonfiction media in existence. I need to mount a monitor on the ceiling and game in bed. I miss that. Graham, thank you so much. I have this pulled up on my phone, and oddly, you're synced on both devices for once. That's interesting. I mean, obviously I can't. I have no control over that. It's not something that I would ever be able to do on my end to like change whether I'm synced on different devices. There's not a sync button on my end. But that is kind of fascinating from like a YouTube point of view that it's managed to be synced on both devices. Like you must have the perfect amount of delay on both. Um, okay, so by the way, I think we put another gas station in this triangle. I feel like I've been to a gas station in this exact kind of geometric arrangement. Um, Homemade documentaries make awesome space stuff. Some space stuff. Homemade documentaries makes awesome space stuff. Sorry, I didn't get the last letter of that word. I had to move the window over. Um, yeah, that's a name that I don't actually know, so I might have to look into that one. Okay, so what do we put in these blocks, and how do we connect it to this? I mean, we got this done last time, which it's roughed out. It's not ideal, but it's here, right? This row needs to come out to the other end here. Grab. Oh wait, look. Let's just do. Grab this, and then please let me attach it. Nope. There we go. There. I could see us. I could see a very janky crossing that goes across this whole thing. Super in-depth videos on all the Apollo missions. I might have to check that out. That sounds really cool. Um, that sounds really cool. You know, I was at the library the other day, and I mean, I was just kind of there for kicks. Uh, there was a, I was up on Hope Street, which nobody outside of the state will know what that means necessarily. I mean, I suppose you could look it up on a map. But Hope Street in Providence, there's some like artsy businesses over there. Uh, I went to a wings place, which was pretty good, and there was one of these little community libraries there, which is nice. So I stuck my head in just to see, and I was like, oh, I want to check something out. I haven't used my library card in ages. I want to make use of it before it gets deactivated because I haven't used it, and then I have to go and get it reactivated again. Um, and I was looking through the movies, and I realized I haven't actually ever watched Apollo 13, and I feel like I should do that. Just because it's one of those classics. I mean, it's not like I'm missing anything really. I know the context. I know about Apollo 13 and the mission and the issues and how they fixed it and everything. Like I've read plenty on the real life Apollo 13. I just have never sat down and watched the movie. And I almost grabbed it. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna grab. I'll do this. First of all, I'm pretty sure I already own Apollo 13. I'm pretty sure it's in the movie cabinet that I have. It's not something that I would need to rent from the library. It'd be something I would be renting because I felt like I needed to watch a movie. So that was kind of not, that was a bust. But I did end up taking out 12 Angry Men, which, as someone who just got selected for jury duty, I felt that that was very appropriate. Uh, Almost like made a real list on it because I did really want to talk about it, and I wanted to talk about it with Gloria because they did watch it with me. I just wasn't, we weren't like watching it. We had it on in the background while we were disassembling the Christmas tree. It wasn't something that we were like dedicating all of our attention to, which frankly it deserves that. It's a very good movie, especially for something that was very clearly made for a handshake and a ham sandwich. A handshake, yeah. I mean, like, yes, there are some reasonably like big name actors in it. I believe like one or two names that I went, oh, I've heard that before. I've heard that name before for a movie in the 1950s hearing the name of the actor is, it means that they were kind of a big deal, right? So I had heard the names before, or a couple of them, and I don't remember where I was going with this. Oh yeah, it's a movie that takes place in one room. Like there's one shot at the beginning of the courtroom. I'm just wandering around while I don't know what to do. There's one shot in the beginning of the courtroom and the kid, who's like the subject of the murder or the subject of the trial. Not the subject of the murder. Not quite that. I'm gonna move this spline point back. Oh no, not edit session. I'm gonna click on the wrong thing and cause problems, aren't I? There's one shot of the inside at the beginning. There's one shot of the outside at the end. And other than that, there's the room where they're discussing. So like the jury room. I don't know what it's actually called. I guess I'll find out soon, right? There's the room where they're actually discussing, and then there's, I mean, there's like a couple of scenes in the bathroom, right? And that's about it. That's genuinely about it. Um, okay, so I want to make this track go. See, I wanted to put this over here, right? But I don't think that that's something I could reasonably do with the way the geometry of this is. I also haven't dug out the entire channel for the river, which I should probably do that, huh? Excuse me. Oh man, excuse me. Goodness. That's not good. What height is this water at 6606? Height down, lower sensitivity, wide radius. Okay, let's dig this down. I think I put water underneath this whole river. I mean, if I didn't, we'll find out soon. Oh yeah, I did. Look at that, water. Dug down, hit water. It's like being at the beach again. Trying to dig a big hole. Oh, I didn't do the whole thing. Let's do the whole thing. Oh, and we've even gotten under the water level at some point already. Oh, snap. Oh, we're gonna need to fill these tiles in, huh? That's gonna have to get done. Yeah, but I mean, I consider myself a big space guy. I've never seen Apollo 13. I just keep looking back. I mean, the most recent comment is Wolf saying sacrilege, which I understand. I apologize. There are a lot of like important like cultural impact movies that I feel like I haven't seen that I've missed, that I don't feel like I've missed per se, because I still understand the cultural impact and I get the sort of jokes and things surrounding them, and I feel like I can engage in some kind of discussion, at least a surface level discussion. Like, for example, and people are going to say sacrilege to this too, and I understand. I've never seen Top Gun. I would like to, I just have never got around to it. I own it, and I have never watched it. There are other movies that are really, culturally important, I suppose, that I have not seen in a very long time. Like Jurassic Park comes to mind, or like, shoot, what was the other one? Shawshank Redemption. Haven't seen that since I was like a kid. Only seen Hunt for Red October once, and it was in class because it was one of those days where you get to watch a movie. But on the flip side, I've watched Down Periscope like 10 times. You know, love that movie. I'm amazed that it's a shame that some of my favorite movies I do not own. Like, I would consider Down Periscope one of my favorite movies. For all its cheese and, like, dumb stuff, it is... I love it to death. And I don't own it. My favorite movie of all time... Well, my favorite movie of all time is probably Up. My second favorite is probably Grand Budapest Hotel, which I also do not own. I do own Up. In fact, for a long time, it was the only movie I owned on Blu-ray, which I still, to this day, do not own a Blu-ray player. and never have. Um, but it's, it's uh, I own I own and pirate flag. I own and pay for all the movies I watch. Okay, okay, buddy. I bet you do. No, I don't like necessarily dealing with digital media in any respect. I don't like piracy as well. Uh, but I also just don't like dealing with digital media. I have a reasonably extensive DVD collection and a VHS collection. Just because it's not like those things don't go bad. I'm not going to sit here on a high horse and be like, oh, I keep these because in the event of like a nuclear war, then I'll be able to watch my movies and the stuff that you have on your Amazon account you won't be able to watch. Uh, Obviously, that doesn't include piracy. Um, but it's just I like having them there. I like being able to look through them. Now, it has made me goof occasionally. There are some movies that I own more than one of. But it's the cost of doing business. Uh oh. Somebody's here a week early for the Big E trip, I think. Lafayette's barking his head off. Alright. Let's do this. Actually, I want the sensitivity up just a little bit to get these edges. And this isn't really... What's the word? This isn't, Wait, it's not this weekend. I'm at the door. Damn, that's very impressive that you have it up on your computer and you're at the door. Did you, like, bring your desktop in your car? Uh, I typically only acquire when I can't find them streaming anywhere. And I will admit that there have been times that I've gone to a shady site to watch a movie because it literally isn't streaming anywhere. And I can't remember what the hell it was, but I can remember a couple of instances of this, maybe for the real list, where it was like, oh, we gotta watch this movie, we gotta watch this movie. And it's like, go to the library, it's not there. Go look on, like, all the streaming services that we have, oh, it's not there. Go, like, look it up on Google to see where they say to watch it, and there's nothing listed. It's like, oh yeah, this was a movie. And it's like, okay. Well, either I order a DVD, which I did do on at least one occasion. Either I order a DVD and have it shipped in, and then we watch the movie, or I just go to this really shady site that has all the movies and, just like pray that I click on the right play button and it doesn't just open 6 tabs of porn and, uh, and take over my bank accounts, right? Although, in fairness, that's one of the things where I feel like the internet as a whole has gotten much better about that since I was a kid. There are maybe it's just the safe areas of the internet have gotten more ubiquitous and robust, but I do not feel like I have to go to shady download sites to get Minecraft mods anymore. Except for when CurseForge has like a data breach and somebody posts malware, which is every other week, but at least it's all in one place and we know about it. Uh, uh, I used to only use those sites and I got really good at quick scoping the new opening tab before it locked me down with that iPhone alert scam. Yeah, ad blockers have gotten better too. Um, it's just there are fewer and fewer websites where I look at them and go, "Ooh, I need an ad blocker" or something like that. Where if you have an ad blocker, you see this the number of ads blocked go up in the corner. And I do have one. It's just disabled on almost every site I go to. Partly because, I mean, if I look at sites I visit by volume, right? Not necessarily by like what sites do I visit the most, but like if I visited a site once, it's in my repertoire. Uh, it's got to be random news web pages for the Terminus podcast. It's got to be that, and every single one of them is. Would you please turn off your ad blocker because no whatever and I do it because I understand that you need to make money to run a website and do news stuff. Um, I don't begrudge. Well, I don't begrudge any website for asking one to turn their ad blocker off. Uh, I feel like ad blockers are, you know, good to cover your butt, but ads on the internet are there for a reason. I don't want to defend all sorts of I don't want to defend atrocious ad practices, of which there are many. Um, oh yeah, doing news is expensive. Uh, I don't want to defend atrocious ad practices, but I understand why we are where we are in terms of ads on the internet, and I'm gonna have to redo all these roads anyway. I don't know why I'm trying to smooth them all out properly. Uh, News websites are kind of the worst with that, and I feel like it must just be the cost of doing business for them. Um, it's not like there's not a lot of competition, you know. Like the thing with news websites is they're kind of a dime a dozen, especially the smaller outlets that tend to come up when it comes to the terminus, and these pieces of news that are kind of niche. Um, I know that's sort of a contradiction, right? There's plenty of competition, but the news articles are kind of niche. Um, but and I feel like if we really want to dig into this, because this is something that's been on my mind, and I have my hypotheses and whatever. Uh, I feel like it's our fault at the end of the day, like our being like the collective internet and its use of ad blockers and everything. Like I feel like the adpocalypse and everything that's going on with YouTube and everything like that, it's totally our fault. Like it has to be. Like yeah, I recognize that some of it is due to unscrupulous ads making, unscrupulous ads and content making things worse for advertisers, making advertisers want to pull out. But excuse me, sorry, I am full. Like I'm full. Like I ate an entire giant chicken parm calzone before we started this. Uh, yeah, the eternal cat and mouse. But like, my point is, I don't think we would be in this position with ads being as bad as they are if we didn't start doing ad blockers en masse in the first place. Now, that is pretty baseless speculation, I'll admit, and I would take the argument that, like, no, it was obviously going to get here anyway. It's sort of the logical course of action. That websites would be getting worse and worse and worse with ads because they want more and more and more money. But it strikes me that the whole adpocalypse thing was driven in no small part by ad revenue being, ad revenue dropped because of people trying to avoid ads, or it just started a vicious cycle. It started that cat and mouse game, and once you start walking that path, you can't stop it. I had a much more composed theory when I came up with it like 5 years ago, and maybe it's in a video somewhere back then, but I just fumbled through my reasoning. I don't like ads. I don't think anyone does, but I would rather have ads than pay for things. I'd rather have ads than pay for every website or every service, or the things that I do on the internet. I'd rather just deal with ads more often than not. Uh, I appreciate websites that don't do that, but there's really only one website left that doesn't do that, and it's Wikipedia. Wikipedia is the only good website left on the entire internet. Um, I'm pretty sure that's not. Those aren't my words, but I wholeheartedly agree with them. Um, and I donate to Wikipedia not regularly, not as regularly as I would like to, but probably at least once a year. Um, One could argue that their pop-up donating to them is an ad. I mean, yeah, it's an advertisement for themselves, I guess. You could argue that, but I feel like that's not in the spirit of the conversation. If you want to be pedantic, yeah, sure, they're advertising for their own services. They're advertising for their website, for their own well-being. Uh, but it's not an external advertiser. I donated once as well, and they mail every year now. Yeah, because I got you. Because they know you're one of the good ones that actually will fund their continued existence. And don't get me wrong, that's not sarcasm at all. That's it's the kind of thing where you oh shoot, I'm gonna have to get a trackpad. Oh wait, no, this is over here. Oh wait, what if I started it back here instead of over there? It would make for a very awkward railroad crossing, is what it would do. Um, yeah, more of a service than a business. I mean, that's true. Uh, and I would agree that Wikipedia is the same way. I mean, they're not for profit, right? Uh, but it is still, it's still a business insofar as it's still a nonprofit entity that needs to keep the lights on, right? Um, and yeah, no, I think they're totally justified. Again, I think pretty much every website is justified at serving their consumers ads, particularly if they don't pay anything to use the website. It's it is sort of the nature of doing business. Like a store owner has to pay the mortgage. A website owner has to pay the server fees. It's not rocket surgery. And I don't want to get frustrated. I don't want to get mad or anything. Although mad is kind of a stretch. Uh, WWF the bio, yes. I just got another piece of mail from the WWF about renewing my membership. Um, and it's like, yes, I'll do this. I'll do this in a week at the Big E. All right, so we need to figure out where the factories are over here. Now we have this track, which is coming in at a very, very weird angle. I'm going to delete this because we don't need this anymore. And, excuse me, a friend of mine was looking through waybills from the Kansas City Southern Railroad for, oh shoot, there goes my rubber band ball. Um, and I asked him if I could look through them when he's done sort of categorizing them, because I want to. Oh, this has got to be our like Slater mill. This has got to be like the first mill, huh? So I'll put this over here. Because I wanted to use them for some inspiration, right? I wanted to use them to figure out, oh, what is it that I've missed? What kind of industries could I put in? Um, that I haven't really thought about. Let's up the sensitivity here. I'm going to try to do some things with elevation that I don't tend to do, because I just was sort of existing out in the world, and it occurred to me, like, elevation is everywhere. Elevation, it shows up more than it does in your average Trainz route. Part of that is we can't really do the granularity that sometimes, or that tends to happen in real life. But it's worth it to try, right? Oh shoot. Let's bring this up here. But yeah, I mean it's true when you're. I mean, I feel like it's as much a psychology thing as it is just sort of a fact. Like, if you've donated, you're somebody who donates. It's like a tautology almost. Um, I was thinking about that on the other day on the train. Nothing's flat even when it's, for lack of a better term, flat. Yeah, right? And we can't do this very well in Trainz. We can't really do it in any game for that matter because the amount of fidelity you need to do landscaping as it is in real life is like not gonna happen. Maybe in the future where we all have supercomputers, which is a statement that I'm sure I and everyone else has been saying for the last. How long have computers been a thing? So don't answer that question. It's a rhetorical question. You could get the number for me, but just don't. If you don't feel like doing that, don't. Whatever. Don't waste the effort. Uh, yeah, and the other thing is, right, even if you had a game where you had unlimited graphical fidelity or unlimited fidelity to do the landscaping at least, right? Maybe it was sort of voxel based but extremely minuscule voxels. Uh, you wouldn't because it would take forever. Um, Either you spend 100 years on every block of your town, or you just say F it and go with ballpark elevation changes, things that aren't ridiculous, things that are within the realm of possibility of both reality and what one can accomplish in a lifetime of work. uh, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, if you want to uh, if you want to make things perfect, go build a model railroad. Go build a real model railroad. Uh, it'd be hard to replicate it as well. I mean, it'd be so tough to get it right, you know, and that extends to if you're doing real life landscape or um, if you're doing something fictional, something like this. Uh, I know, amazing, right? Tolbrand isn't a real place. I know some of you didn't realize that. Um, it's like Allagash. Anyway, this is a tight turn. Um, no way. Yeah, thank you. Um, but yeah, it's something that I don't know if I want to do this. It's something that if you want unlimited fidelity, you got to do it in real life. And even if we had it, and even if you could theoretically, even if there were the tools to make it happen, right? Even if there were reasonable tools that would let you craft what you want in a reasonable amount of time, who would do it right? You know? Who would get it right? Or would it just be a gateway? Would anyone get it right? Or would it just be a gateway to people making more bizarre and absurd things? Not that that is a bad thing, but at the end of the day, you have to make your systems at least a little bit novice friendly, I feel like. At least a little bit. Maybe not that much, but at least no, it's hard to do on a model railroad. Well, yeah, it's just, on a model railroad, you can ignore the kits and stuff, and you can just do what you want, right? Um, some things have to be a little novice friendly, or else everything's going to come out looking terrible. And I don't know how you do that with a system with unlimited fidelity. And on the flip side, you could just say, well, no, they don't. They don't have to be novice friendly. People can do what they want to do, and the people that want to learn how to do the system better will learn and do the system better. And it's like, yeah, I see that, but I don't know. I feel like there are factors that might make you want to make a uh, make a system a little bit beginner friendly or a little bit more beginner friendly. Not to say that you can't have both in a game. You can have like an easy mode and a hard mode. Settings are always the answer. Isn't that what Unreal is to an extent? Yeah, I suppose so. Um, There's a reason a lot of games come out in Unreal. I'm totally, I'm well past the end of my sort of understanding of the subject matter, so I apologize. Uh, but yeah, I mean, games tend to come out in Unreal because it's an easy engine to work in. Let's do this. How's that look? I do wanna set up some other buildings over here, but I like this and the rail line just going right in the middle of it. Um, I'm gonna need to look at some more sort of turn of the century industrial parks to get an idea of what this needs to look like. Um, because this, it's just I don't want it to be just factories that are thrown down in the middle of an open area. Um, I want it to be something that makes sense. But I do like this, and I might try to make some things that are parallel to it. It's just like this was clearly built for the railroad. Excuse me, sorry. Uh, this was clearly built for the railroad because this is uh, something that is aligned with this instead of the railroad trying to like work its way around and get to a point where it's easy to load and unload things. This building is going to have to move because I don't want to deal with this right now. I need to find stuff to go with this building, which, I mean, we can probably go with something like this. No, this is not that kind of building. I mean, this could go over here. Um, nope, grabbed the wrong thing. The only problem is this is sort of shaped strangely. It's facing this way, so I've gotta do that. And I have this really bad habit of putting the siding for a building across the tracks from that building. I did it, I think, in Olive as well, and I don't want to do that. That's not how that works. Um, I could always put more than one multiple industry on this track, uh, and I've seen stuff that's served like that, where you have more than one industry on a linear piece of rail. But boy, do I not want to do that. Also, it creates problems for the AI because then I need to add a derailleur. I need to put a switch in, otherwise the AI will not pull down the track to unload the car when there's another car on the track. It's not ideal. Um, let's see. Um, I could use this as well, but I don't really. I mean, I like this as like an annex or like an extension of a building. I don't really like this as a building on its own. Um, I kind of wish I had older style mill like this that I could line up here, and then see if I could have this come around and do that and park over here. Don't make fun of me. You're making fun of me. Yeah, because you're mocking me. Why do you do this? I think you were. Gloria's being mean to me. Just kidding, I'm being mean to Gloria. Why would you want that?
I love you.
Oh, Sim. I love you too. This looks like it could be a mill. It also looks like it could be a school, and it's shaped like an L. I have problems with buildings that are about the same height. In fact, I don't like that. I wish this one was slightly taller or this one was slightly shorter. Can I make it shorter? What if I do? Will it look bad? Yes, extremely. Okay, we're not doing that. Um, Come on. Let me... Can I spin this around like this, then? And you could say that the open portion is, like, for it to... the open portion was so that they could avoid, like, the mill race, because here you... This is... I don't know where your wheels would be. Probably underneath the building. Some of these old mills are pretty unassuming when it comes to where are the, where is the power generation? Where are the water wheels? Um, or water wheel in a lot of cases. I Sometimes they were sort of in their own attached building. Sometimes they were just underneath the main building. That happens more with the newer style of mills. Well, newer of the water powered mills, which is to say, not very new, I suppose. Um, I only know this because of a Macaulay book called Mill. And if you've ever seen the books, The Way Things Work, or the way stuff works, or the way we work, or house. No, is it? I have them all in a pile in this house somewhere, but now I can't tell you the names. They were probably like my favorite book series as a kid, um, because it was educational, and I read the Mill one over and over and over again. I would read it again. It's so good, especially because if I remember right, it is set in Rhode Island, um, and or at least nearby, and it's it's sort of what's the word? It's very readable. It's one of those things that is it it has it's an educational book, right? But uh, it has a functional story to it. Yeah, I am an expert in local hot mills. There are hot mills in your area. Um, I need to find a little connecting building to connect these buildings. Do I want to use this? I might be able to use the gas work building. The gas work. No, you know what? The windows on these are too big. I'm just gonna have to leave them as three separate buildings. Unless, hmm, where are the really generic warehouse buildings? Not this one. This is a cool building though. Oh, it's huge. Never mind. I thought it was an interesting shape. Oh god. Warehouse building. Warehouse bananas. Oh, it's monkey bananas. We found it. Is Connecticut a part of New England? You wrote a part as one word, therefore you mean not part of, and I will agree with that. But it is in fact a part of New England. Sadly. Oh shoot. Oh man. Can I want to see if I can. No, I can't. I can't cut. Well, you know what? That's probably as good as it's going to get. Um, we'll connect those two buildings. And then we will need some sort of powerhouse here. We have this little guy. This little guy right here. Retard Boyo. Just a little guy. Um, oh no. I mean, if you broke Coggers, talk to Kevin. Kevin runs the Coggers server. Not me. So, I cannot attend to that. But if you did, thanks a lot. What did you do? Genuinely, what did you do? Because we might have to. There might be a problem that needed to be solved. Um, if you were exploring, there's a. I've gone from think to no. Oh no. Oh no. Um, just needs a restart most likely. What were you doing? Dare I ask? Again, if you were exploring, there's a there's a bug that I have been unable to pinpoint slash fix with custom origin where there is a specific deposit type that it just won't generate. Where if it tries to generate, it will crash, and I don't know what deposit type that is, or I would have changed it. Um, but it strikes me that oh, Project Red storage. Oh no. It doesn't make the game happy when you do too much too fast. Oh no. I forgot Project Red even had storage. I never I feel like I never use storage systems from mods. Like I'm always just making big warehouses full of chests, and by I mean Gloria. Um, we make a lot of chests. It's the only auto storage in the pack. Yeah, well that's because I don't like auto storage. I don't like auto storage, but I really like red power, so it was a compromise on my part. Anyway, gotta figure this out. Am I even gonna be able to do this? Because this is like the warehouse right here. Hello, Mew. So let's do that. This is cursed. I look at all these people, like, people talk about different mod packs on, like, the Feed the Beast subreddit and stuff like that. It's like, oh, what mod pack should I get into? And part of me wants to be like, Coggers. But I know that anyone who's played a real mod pack would eat me alive for wanting to suggest that. Because Coggers is not a real mod pack. Coggers is a bunch of mods that I threw together and I tweaked the most basic stuff about so that there wouldn't be terrible conflicts and balance issues. Um, I didn't. I it is a mod pack that at the end of the day I've made pretty much exclusively for me, and everyone else is sort of welcome to come along for the ride because when I was making it, everyone would not shut up about wanting a modded server. So they got what they asked for, and I got what I wanted. And that's also why I don't really take suggestions. And this is the one thing I will stand my ground on. Unlike OpenTTD, where, you know, yes, I mean, originally XXX was something that I made because I wanted a harder experience. Unlike that, you know, OpenTTD is something that, at the end of the day, I feel like is best shared with the community. Coggers, I like to be left alone. I like trading with people. I like, you know, having our little Coggers community where I found this and you found that and whatever. By the way, if anybody finds Lapis, please tell me. Um, and we can make trade. But I would be just as happy, uh, you know, or at least almost as happy, if the Coggers server was literally just me. Oh, you're in dire need of Lapis too. Okay, cool. We're in the same boat. Haven't found Lapis yet, but I have been looking. And I thought about doing something really cursed if I had the power. Uh, I have a little bit of Lapis thanks to the dungeon, but that's kind of it. It isn't much, and it's not enough for me to want to like use it on enchantments or anything like that. So For now, it's just like the strategic lapis reserve in case I really, really need to turn something blue. Um, what a weird statement. Uh, yeah. So if you really, really need lapis, I can trade with you, but not for a lot. And if you find lapis, please let me know. And I have a really cursed idea for how to get more lapis, which involves a bunch of, which dies a buttload of blue wool, um, and a crusher, because sometimes you get lapis out of that, and we can get blue dye. Well, I mean, we only you only need one like lapis to get unlimited blue wool, uh, but we can get blue dye with certain bees, which I have been sort of working on. Not specifically to get blue dye because I don't have valiant bees, so I can't do that. If you have valiant bees, I need them. But I have been working with bees and building up like robust bee infrastructure. Now I don't have the alleviary or like the bigger bee building, whatever, however you pronounce it. But you know, it's one of those things. One could argue that in OpenTTD that you were effectively also alone and had the option to trade passengers and goods with other players. I mean, you can play OpenTTD co-op if you want. You can have as many people as you want in a company. Um, yes, robust bee. Do you have a problem with that, Matt? Robust bee infrastructure. It's a legitimate strategy. Babe, would you say I have robust bee infrastructure? Come on, just say yes. Awesome. Gloria agrees. Matt was laughing at me. Are you? It's a brand new sentence for. I don't think that's a brand new sentence. I think other people have definitely talked about their robust bee infrastructure. I know the more I play with bees, the more I become Jerry from Rick and Morty. But you know, some people are Jerrys, and that's okay. Um, all right, let's do this. I want to lift this up. I guess I should put like a little warehouse building sort of thing over. Oh wait, there's got to be a road here. Roadhouse. I just said I wasn't gonna do this. What am I gonna put here? Thanks. Um, Mason probably hates this. If Mason was here, he'd be mad. I can't wait until I get to do the main terminal in Geiger City or in Gilson City, and I get to make all sorts of terrible, terrible things. Excuse me. Small wooded area, probably parking lot for the train station, honestly. Oh wait, this right here. Small wooded area. I don't know about that. Maybe just pile of junk. That would be a very small wooded area. Definitely. Very, very small. I'm tempted to throw another siding off the back of this, but boy, that would be terrible. Just like so terrible. Um, now, now that I'm working on an overgrown lot, yeah, pretty much. It's gonna have junk in it. It's gonna be an overgrown lot. It's that sort of thing. This was not supposed to be a permanent arrangement. Um, the landlord management company that owns my building is my office brags about the robust bee infrastructure, always asking about the honey on the little screens that they have all the time. What? That's whack. That's really funny, but wow. Okay. Um, gotta incorporate the time saver layout. What? Hold on. Because people have been talking about this, and I have something that I think of when people say time saver. Okay. Yeah, this isn't exactly what I was thinking of, but this is that kind of thing. Okay, I didn't realize it was so specific, honestly, but it is a very specific arrangement of tracks. That's fascinating. Okay, I thought. Hold on, let me look up another one. Maybe I was thinking of Inglenook. I think I might have been thinking of Inglenook. Because, yeah, okay, I was. That's what I was thinking of when people were saying time saver. Um, I was thinking Inglenook. It's one of those things. I don't think I'm gonna recreate a time saver, but it would be sort of like a neat little Easter egg almost, to have that specifically. These two look so bad next to one another. Like, look how much worse this building looks than that building. We put in an extension and we asked the architect to make it look as awful as possible. Um, yeah, Inglenook is definitely the one I was thinking of because it's the very very simple. Whereas Time Saver, I guess I didn't know. It's too complicated for me. I just don't know it. It goes to a different school. Um, that's weird that one of these is literally catted at an angle, or is blendered like the model is at an angle. That's weird. Um, I can put some sidings in here anyway, and I probably will. Um, this as well is one of these things where I've used this before, and it's a really iconic looking building because it's the one you go through the middle of. Um, I don't really want to use it too much. Like I don't want to overuse it. Um, but we do have to have something along the. This is probably going to be a little forested area. Something along the water's edge here to like come off at a perpendicular angle to that. So it might end up being this. I'm trying not to delete or like use up anything because I feel like oh this is like a milling company, right? Yeah. Uh, I'm trying not to use up anything because I feel like if I do that, it's going to become a uh, it's going to become a I don't want to use anything. I want to leave the assets out so that I don't lose them by accident if I delete something. Right, we've got a few other buildings too. We have like this one, which this is a small, this is relatively small. But I could see this being on the corner here, like King's Mills or something, because the tower there. But at the same time, I don't really want to use. I don't want to reuse stuff. Danbury might be the closest. I wish there was a railroad museum that did hand on the throttle and able to build a set of spurs to the specifications of Inglenook. Or Time Saver. I mean, yeah, I mean, Danbury is probably the closest one. Hmm. Let's bring a road in here then. Like right along the waterfront. To this. There's got to be a usage for this, right? There's got to be a reason that we have a pass through. Instead of just a normal set of sidings. I think, hold on, because I used this in Mason's Landing, and I want to see what I did there. Because putting two industries in the same spur is something I don't like doing. But yeah, no, this is just. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I am so full. This is just it passes through to the other side, and that's it. I do love this area though. I haven't ever manually switched Mason's Landing. I got close during one of the iPortal sessions. Um, but oh hey, we have that in Geiger. Yeah, I mean it's a pretty classic mill building. I gotta say. It is definitely one of those where I look at it and I go, yeah, I know this one. I've seen this a million times. That one and like this one. This one, which of course I have to find a use for because this one goes everywhere. Um, this one are like there are a couple that look pretty much identical to it. There's the Frank's uh, mill. Hmm. You know, I probably should justify this road. Although it is parallel with this, right? So if it came from here and then went this way and then went this way and then would have plugged back into here, like right here, that would have made sense, I suppose. Um, which means that I should put this on an angle, which throws my whole thing out of whack. Like, whole thing. So let's do that. Let's put that on an angle. And then let's put this like this, instead of having the incredibly cursed arrangement. Okay, that's still not right. I'm not even doing the thing that I should be doing, which is the scenery from here to the river. I mean, any progress is progress, which is what I always used to tell myself. And we'll drop this. Put this here. And then we will, oh yeah, see, this screws up my whole thing because I had this set up. Yeah, okay, let's just remove these pieces of track and let's just go like this. Nope. Why? Why would that be what I wanted, Trainz? Why? Um, okay. I love Trainz Railroad Simulator. Eh. Okay. Incredibly long diagonal crossing is fine. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. The traffic engineer in me is literally screaming, but you know what? It's fine. For the record, the traffic engineer in me, that's just regular me. It's not like it's not an alter ego. That's just my day job. It's just a thing. Okay. Well, we'll have to come back through here and deal with that later. So it looks a little less cursed now, just a little. Um, sure. You know what? 200-foot long level crossing. Yeah. I mean, I've seen. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I want to share this with everybody. I think it was in Andover. I think it was in or near Andover, Mass. There was a. You're coming on this adventure with me. I'm not going to make you wait. There was an incredibly suspect railroad crossing. Lawrence. Yes. On the Lowell and Lawrence Railroad. Hold on. I always have to find it on here and then find it on I need to find it on here first. Okay, so that's right. It comes off of yes. Yes! You guys ready for this? This is atrocious. Watch this. So we've got our, like, trackmobile sticking out here. This comes this way and doesn't even go off the road until, like, 200 feet down the road. It just rides in the lane opposing traffic. Then it comes off the road. If I built this in Trainz, I would hate myself. It would be the most unrealistic feeling thing ever. Then it goes over here just to get across, like, the driveway of whatever this is. Uh, it's there for maybe 100 more feet, and then it curves across the road back to the other side and into an industry. Look at this. Should I model this? This is awful. It just goes to show you can the railroad, like, also look at that corner. Oh my god. If I modeled this exact industrial park in Trainz, if somebody modeled this industrial park in Trainz and sent it to me for a route review, they would not get full points for world. Because I would go, what the hell is this? Why are you doing this? This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Um, anyway, to the 4 people left on the stream, I hope you saw that. Because that's bad. Oh, shoot. I'm out of water. Okay. Is that the place I think that is? It's Andover, Mass. No, it's not the Warwick Railway. New favorite crossing. You keep track of your favorite crossing? I don't blame you. I really want to make use of the fact that this building has an effing pass-through. But I can't figure out how. And it's just where the stuff gets dropped off. I don't like this building because of how unnecessary the pass-through feels. But whatever, it is what it is. We'll probably have a stretch of greenery here. Maybe even we'll lower it and make it very swampy. In Troy, this would be where you have, like, a little kill coming in. I was tempted to, Mason was talking about how I don't have enough water-related landscaping in the fields area, and now that I'm in town, all I want to do is little creeks. Although, you know what? I do want this whole plot of land to be one thing. That's something that strikes me, right? I want this whole plot of land to be one thing. So if I drop this right on top of the tracks here, which I don't really like, but we'll roll with it for a second. If I drop this right on top of the tracks here, hey, Dean, baby, could you please get me some more water? I was gonna try to keep powering on through and not ask you for anything, but I can't do it. My whole mouth and throat just got so dry all of a sudden. I swear I'm not hamming it up. I don't know what the hell just came over me. Okay, so I want to attach something to this end of the building. And I think I want it to be this. Let's grab that. Oh, it doesn't even rotate around the middle. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That helps. That helps a lot. Drink water. Drink water, people. Drink water, it helps in the Russian iron making process. Okay. I don't like the way these windows don't really line up. Or this door for that matter. Yeah, that's not ideal. I think if I did it like this, I would be happier. But then it's in the middle of the window, and I don't like that either. Um, but I do kind of like the way this complex looks, and having to drive a truck like through this little gap is seems plenty cursed to me, and I like that as well. Um, Here's the problem. I was gonna put a second track here. Now I can't really fit it, so we're gonna have to scoot things around and have a very tight switch right before the building. No, I don't like that at all. I really don't like that. Um, we're gonna have to go into Surveyor 2 for this. We might add more building to the back here. Okay. Let's just move that up a ways. And let's move these two uh, as close to the track as we can get them. One of my only problems with Surveyor 2 is sometimes rotating is not very... It's not very easy to keep things straight, keep things the way you want them to go. But it's being very forgiving today, and I appreciate that. I like liking Surveyor 2. I don't want to dislike it. I know I've been sort of unimpressed by a lot of the tools in the past, although mostly that had to do... The thing I was most unimpressed with is the HD terrain. But I feel like I'm allowed to have a grudge against that, given what it's done to the MPS route. On the flip side, I've been definitely unhappy with the industry changes. I've talked about that at length. I don't really know what I'm going to do about that. I don't really know how I'm going to carry on doing the industries, but we will have to figure that one out. We'll have to burn that bridge when we come to it. Okay, so this is fine. This is floating way off the ground. Can I remove the gradient from this? And yeah, there we go. Oh, snap. I just realized this is like a steep hill. Oh. Oh. In the back of my head, I can hear Weibold yelling about BNSF and not wanting their yard on a grade. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll have to deal with that, I guess. Sometimes having stuff out of advanced spline mode is good. Somebody's gonna roll a car down into this industry. What is the gradient on this? It's like 2%. Oh, what a middle finger to sanity. And I was gonna put more tracks over here. How am I gonna even get them over there now? This guy's all the way up here. Okay, well, definitely then I just have to add like a little warehouse building over here. That's a fire truck. Atchi. Let's grab some Atchi stuff. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't fit. 2% rarer to grade. We'll get there. Union Jack, 30 feet. Union Bank of Scotland. That would be a very fancy warehouse. Single track level crossing. UK rail sign. Look at this. Look at this little bridge. Look at this. Whatever kind of truss this is, or whatever it is. Whatever this is. It's weird. Yes, Scotland forever. Thank you. Um, Milwaukee. Oh, that's a really, really long description. That is a long description. Milwaukee. Okay. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's grab some more warehousing. How about this one? No. No, that's way too fancy. I might use that later, but it's way too fancy for right here. There's good old Warehouse 004. I've used the hell out of that one, that's for sure. This is the one that is literally right here. I figured that was factory and not warehouse, but I guess it's warehouse. Um, that is a big one. No comments, please. Um, Warehouse 3. No. Warehouse small. I actually like this and I'm going to use it, so I'm going to put it aside. I need to keep like the pile of buildings off to one specific area. Um, Thank you, Wolfman. We have the Great Northern Warehouse that we used in Mason Valley, which is just a very cool warehouse, and I'll probably use that again anyway. I'm gonna put this in the pile. And this one too. I want to get it away from buildings where I think I might be already happy with where they are. Um, Warehouse Industrial, Warehouse Loading Docks, very, very, very simple stuff. We've got Quonset huts. Sorry. Honestly, we could use some Quonset huts somewhere. We definitely need to. I mean, we're going to use them at the military base, surely. But, do I want to use this somewhere? I actually kind of like the way this looks. I don't think I want to use it here, but I definitely want to use it somewhere. Not all of these old warehouses feel like they are deserving, but that one definitely, this one definitely does. And this one actually really looks like it fits. Um, I would need a platform is the thing. Hmm. I quite like that. And even this, even I just threw this aside and I feel like I like where it ended up. But I might move it to over there. So this is... Nope. Uh, I'm checking on the Coggers thing. Oh, I'm sorry you lost some stuff. I hope it wasn't anything crazy. Um, Probably you were still running after the server exploded or some such thing. Client disagreement. Um, if you want to try to figure out that Lapis machine, let me know, because I wouldn't necessarily be opposed. Something that required Lapis vanished. Oh, I had just enough to replace it. Look at this tight little, like, complex here. It's like no space to walk around. This is the future. This is your 15-minute city. This is the future that liberals want. Um, Up on the road. I mean, I guess I'll put this over here. because I want to thread this road through to over here. Like I said, this is not going to be the final spline that we use. Excuse me. There was a post on Reddit the other day of somebody showing off something in Trainz, and why can't I straighten this? Thank you. Um, and I could see they were mixing yarn and yarnish roads, and I just want to be like, tisk tisk. You get the big bumps in your road. That's what happens. Um, I could make the lapis machine, but I can no longer dye my sheep. Oh, okay. Well, I have some, so whenever I next get on, we can discuss. You should build a. Does it take lapis to make one of the forestry mailboxes? I know that you and I are practically neighbors. We're as neighbors as it gets on the current Cogger server. Um, Not that I don't want to keep it that way, because I do. Uh, but I have thought about, and I wanted to sort of pause it, because I keep coming back through your portal, because you're the first one that built another portal, obviously, no begrudging. It's just the facts of the matter. So I have to walk back from your house to my house a lot. And I've been thinking about extending the rail line I have that goes to the dungeon to some place, like to a basically have a platform at your base or a siding or whatever. I have a steam engine that I use to haul stuff around. Um, I have it vaguely marked out in my atlas, but I put my atlas down somewhere in my house and I haven't seen it. So I will endeavor to make another copy of my master atlas and figure out what to do. Oh, this is going to be so bad. This is going to be so bad because I have to level this out for the sake of the road. It's going to be awful. Watch this. Watch this and cringe with me. Spline point there, spline point there. Straighten this out. Need to raise these up just a little bit so that you can see the rails peeking over the asphalt. Yep. And maybe a little lower. And now it looks like this, which is just so bad. It's so bad. And the worst part about it is, I've definitely seen garbage like this in real life. Um, but man, if somebody looks at that and goes, "That's atrocious. Why would you ever build that? That's not real at all." I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame anybody for that. I would say like, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Because it is. Incidentally, it's pretty bad. Is there a door on the side of this building? Oh, perfect. So we're definitely going to have a siding for this, whatever this is. I'm just throwing down buildings now. What the hell is this? This is like some kind of shop, like truck, like maintenance depot thing. It's like a DOT thing. The DOT has those barns full of salt if you're in a place that salts the roads. Oh no! I thought that was plateau tool. I should really look. I should really look before I start adjusting land. Um, okay. Baby, where are the boys? Oh. I think I just heard Venkman sneeze in the hallway. Venkman! That's why I asked where they were, because I wanted to know who sneezed. He's a good boy. Okay. Better hope the railroad actually delivers the boxcar full of salt. Well, the railroad really has the short end of the stick in terms of going uphill here. I can only imagine that that they want the stuff cleared as well. Excuse me. Okay. This has definitely been progress. It's been a progress of all time. It'd be funny to add just a couple of random little stores here, like a couple of banks of stores. Maybe just one bank of stores, uh, or a couple of houses that are sort of smashed in the most awkward spots. I mean, you would have houses springing up across from mills or next to mills or whatever. I mean, obviously people need to live, and in the era that these mills would have been built, they definitely need to live close to where they work. So, you know what I think I will do though. There's a reason I saved this, and that's part of the reason I was saying that I was keeping buildings out because I could always just hide them like this, you know. And now I have two chimneys in a building that would otherwise not have any chimneys, and you'd go, well, where are they getting the power from? And like, yeah, this would probably be some sort of powerhouse. They've oh, it's got a short chimney over here, but come on, that's not. These are definitely heating chimneys, and this is definitely like a school and not a mill. Come on. I'm gonna scoot this one like halfway down because, yeah. I guess I'm keeping this building where it is now. And this is a gasometer thing, so we should probably throw some gasworks stuff around here. But what is this? I think we've used this before. Furniture warehouse, huh? Um, that's the other thing. We need to figure out how to rail serve these industries. I know in a lot of these mill towns that had a lot of rail served industry on both sides of a river, it was not uncommon to have like a zillion little trestles that went across the river in convenient spots. And this, honestly, you probably would have seen a line come through here and cross the river here and then serve these if you didn't have one that came this way and did that. But you can't have either now because this railroad gets in the way. So we need to have a way to get trains over the river. Um, I could see something that peels off here and serves these, which would just be so cursed. Um, or even something that peels off of here and serves these mills and maybe misses this one or something, and you've got to switch back into it. Um, but I mean, some solid like industrial drive vibes going on here. If you were to, let's see, let's try this idea out. And we are not very high over the river, which I don't really like. I, for a long time, was in a very bad habit of making the water level really high compared to where my roads and stuff were, and I've only just started to break that, like with this. This is still too low. This is very, very low. In fact, I should probably add a mill pond back here, like this whole way, right? From this road bridge down to here, add a little mill dam, and then drop the height of the river substantially for the rest of this. Like by at least a bit, by at least a couple of meters. And if we go and look for dams, which that's interesting that there was one in there. Dam support. What the heck? Um, we have this one again, which I would use again. It's a very nice one. Um, this one, which is too small, really, for what we need. Um, this one, which is probably too big for what we need. That one, which is huge. Whatever the hell this is. Which I know what it's not. It's not a dam. Um, it's a little stationary boiler. Uh, a couple of really nice bridges from North Adams. Rotterdam, which is a boat. And then macadam stuff. So, or macadam, or however you want to pronounce it. Um, so it looks like we're going to be using this one again. Because that's just, it makes sense. Um, when you're route building and you realize, hey, you know what? The thing that I've built doesn't make a lot of sense. I should probably fix that. Let me go fix that. Don't let me go fix that later. Let me go fix that right now. How did I do this over here? Because, oh right, because some of this isn't water, it's mostly spline. That's how I did it. And it doesn't look half bad, honestly, except for this transition. But whatever, what are you gonna do? So I should probably grab. Should probably grab. Oh. What in the hell? Not much of a dam, if you ask me. Pipeline spillway, wet, dry, tail race, dam wall. Oh. Oh, okay. Granite dam. Oh, well, it's incompatible spline. Thanks. We can definitely use that somewhere. Oh, shoot. Low dam, 50 foot. What? What is going on here? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You never know how much junk you have until you try to put it all in one place. Yeah, tell me about it. That looks very modern, but here's the thing. I think I could use this. Potato spline, damp. I went to go get the river spline and I came back with a dam. Oh, excellent job. No, this is not high enough off the water, I think. Because if I were to do this, it's got to go there. And if I wanted to line it up with the water level, it would probably have to be a little bit higher. It'd have to be like there. So that's the issue with this piece of kit. It wants a very specific road height and water height to make it look right. Which, understandable, but, you know. Oops. Nope. 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 Okay, whatever. Gone. Pipeline. What is this? That's not helpful. Try searching Weir. Yeah, that makes sense as well. I don't think anything came up last time. Because we had this conversation last time. I wanted to, okay, Weir effect. Okay, yeah. This is definitely doesn't have the word Weir in it, but whatever. Okay, let's delete some things. You know what we could do is we could just have this cardinally aligned and call it a day. Which I think I did. The other one. But oh shoot, that's not add water. I'm on drugs tonight or something. Um, okay, let's lower this until we can't see it anymore. Oh shoot, still connected. Oh wait, wireframe. Aha! Damn, I really went nuts with the water, huh? Okay. So how far down until this feels right? Let's go at least that far down. Nope, low sensitivity, wide radius, please. Too much sensitivity still. Way to be overly sensitive, game. Yeah, not that I remembered what we had last time. It's not like me searching up dam again really helped. Just ended up grabbing the one asset that I knew we already had. You know. One of these days I'm going to spend some more time on the DLS picking up this and that. Haven't yet, but one of these days. How's that for height? I still don't like that. I still feel like that's too low. So do we go down another round? We'll lower it and then go down again. Okay. You code. I code? Code what? Could just add a culvert. I could, that's true. But I want a bridge. Even still, I don't want it to be that close to the... I don't want it to be that close to the river. And I know along this stretch, I was already going to have some, like, low head dams and stuff like that. Because it just makes sense to me to have them here around the mills and things. Come on. Backspace and send button are right next to one another. Yeah, and the apostrophe key being next to the enter key has messed me up more times than I can count. Trying to put an apostrophe and I send a half-baked message. Okay, so let's raise this back to ground level, and we're probably going to have to mess with it more. Oh, shoot. Stop that. I thought I clicked on that. I looked at it. I looked at it very, like, directly. I was like, yes, I need you. And then nothing happened because that's not how that works. Okay, that's above water. Look how much of a difference there is not. Right? Yeah, that's because this. Right, grab this, please. Only I could just do it with textures, right? Alright, so we're going to have to bring this back up, once again, for the millionth time. Like that. And then grab some water, and I don't know why I'm spending this much effort on this. Oh, shoot. No! Okay. Well, you know what? If I do this, maybe nobody will notice the problem. It's almost unnoticeable. Just water is weird. Um, I wish water in this game was less like it is. Yeah, me too. Me too, buddy. Me too. Uh, can I have this, please? Ow, wrong way. Of course. I think I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to grab this and this. And we will figure that out. But at least this is far enough down that it doesn't feel weird. Um, and yeah, I think I will make what is effectively a mill pond in this area with by just making the river wide. That's going to take some time. Let's grab somewhere where the water is low. Okay. And I probably should smooth out this edge here too. I mean, water is improved over previous versions, and we have the new water as well, which I just haven't used. But it's still not great. You know, it has its issues. It doesn't look particularly good. It looks good when it's flat. Um, it just this game doesn't really handle the transitions well between water at one level and water at the other. It's nice that we have them, though, because once upon a time there were no transitions between water at one level and water at another. Um, okay, so I think I want to move these buildings so that I can add more water up here specifically. It would sort of help me figure out this this track situation. It's almost 10 o'clock. That last hour or so flew by, and the thing is, it makes sense because we started late, but it still sure as hell flew. Um, I'll add some sort of. What if I do? Where is it? Um, where's the powerhouse thing? Dam substation. You. Here, next to the dam. Obviously, you're not going to be generating electricity off of a low head dam like this, but you know, it is what it is. Give me this elevation, please, and then just apply it to this whole area right here. Oh, and I made some Z fighting by accident. Not what I wanted to do. Up, up, please, just by the slightest amount. Thank you. Um, okay. So just while we're here, let's think about this. Because we did adjust this, I don't feel as bad starting it from right here. And then just bringing it right along the edge of the road. How about like this? And then straighten this, because apparently I never straightened these stretches of track across the river. And that needs to be done. So, alright, so we got that. And now we're going to have to trace this along the edge here. I do want to have some sort of building, factory, industry here, so that I have tracks that come off like this and terminate here. So like that or something. And then this will run this way and serve these industries. We just have to design them as if they were designed to be served from the other direction. So, yeah. We'll have to think about that. And then these can be served from down here. This might even cut the corner and just come over like this instead of following, hugging the edge of the river all the way around. It's probably going to cut the corner, and we'll have it in front of some industry here with still a healthy distance from the street. So, like that, and then through here, and then terminate here. Probably not cross the road, not anymore, or maybe cross just for something right here. And then this will come along up to here. What if this water was more like City Skylines water, where you can actually, like, flood stuff by accident? Wouldn't make any sense for this kind of game, but it would be very neat. So, I remember a very good finite water mod for Minecraft that I miss with all of my heart. It never got updated, like, out of beta, I think. But it was very cool. It was probably my favorite mod for a while. Back in the meta-inf days. Real OGs remember. Alright, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Because I don't really want to start digging into anything else, but we definitely have gotten further with the track arrangement and the mill buildings here in Bellington, or South Bellington, really. We didn't do really any scenery, which is what we were supposed to be doing, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Any progress is progress. And I gotta say how proud I am of this track arrangement, and I cannot wait to work with it, work on it, work in it, I guess. It feels the most real out of pretty much anything that I've built, and that does bring a smile to my face, or put a smile on whatever the line is. Doing the industries for this is going to be hell if I can even get it set up in the first place. But at least we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different industry tracks. I love these industry tracks, weird and random, but totally legitimate and an excellent looking yard. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really trying my best. I reoriented this because I hated the way it looked, so it's I did a little mining off camera, and I just pointed this slightly to the right instead of having it come out and then come back to Cardinal. Didn't like that. Realized I could just throw it in there at askew. Call it a day. And yeah, I think, like I said, I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm just dragging it out so it gets to 10 o'clock properly. We still need to figure out what we're doing with this, because I don't think this is the final location. And we need to figure out what we're doing with the grain processing facility, which you'll notice has attachment points for 6 tracks. Really not sure what we're going to do with that one. But that's going to be heavier industry. And we need to actually build the freight yard, and we need to build the mail terminal, which is probably going to be on this side. I know I was looking at pictures. Um, I was looking at pictures of that not too long ago. I'm going to leave that there, sort of as a note to self that I have to do the mail terminal thing. And we need to do the engine terminal here. There's so much more we have to do in terms of tracks heading in this direction. But I'm trying to work from from east to west more or less. So I think it's working. I think we're getting I think we're making good headway. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week. This is the Admiral.